Hello everyone, welcome back to the map of mathematics. In this video, we are going to solve this nice math Olympiad algebraic problem. And here we have m square minus n equals to 43 and n square minus m equals to 43. And here we find the values of m and n, but our required condition is that, or given condition is that m is not equals to n. So when m is distinct, then we find the values of m and n. So that the very first thing we are going to do is here first we call this as equation number 1 and we call this as equation number 2. So that here first we subtract equation number 1 by equation number 2. So that when we subtract equation number 1 by equation number 2, then the above equations will be written as m square minus n minus n square minus m equals to 43 minus 43. And now we simplify these equations and we have m square minus n. We multiply this minus sign on both of the terms and we get minus n square plus m equals to 43 minus 43 equals to 0. And here in the left hand side we rearrange these terms. So here we combine m square with the minus n square and we write it in this form, m square minus n square, and we write this positive m and negative n are plus m minus n equals to 0. So here you see that we have m square minus n square, and this is the very famous and well-known identity, square identity. You know that the output of this identity equals to m minus n times of m plus n, and plus we have m minus n equals to 0. And now you focus on both of the terms and you see that we have m minus n be the common expression. So we take this factor common, m minus n, and we get m plus n, and here you get plus 1 equals to 0. So that here we convert this in two cases, so that our first case is we write m minus n equals to 0, and the second case is we write m plus n plus 1 equals to 0. But here if you focus on the first case, so you get m equals to n, but in the start of the problem we have given that m is not equals to n, so that we will reject this case here and we can just proceed here this case only. So in this case we need to convert this plus n plus 1 to the right hand side, and we get here m equals to 1 minus 1 minus n, and we named this as equation number 3. So that now we put the value of m in equation number 1 or equation number 2. So that here we just write that put the value of m in equation number 1 or equation number 2. So now we put just this value in equation number 1, and our equation number 1 will be rewrite as m square minus n equals to 43. And here we put this value of m equals minus 1 minus n in this equation, and you get minus 1 minus n and its whole square minus n equals to 43. So that here we take common minus inside this square and it will becomes positive, and you get 1 plus n whole square minus n minus 43 equals to 0. And here we open the very famous square identity here, and we get 1 square plus n square plus 2 times of n minus 43 equals to 0. So here we rearrange these terms and we write this equation in standard quadratic form as we have n square, then this 2n minus n becomes plus n, and 1 minus 43 equals to minus 42, and this whole equation equals to 0. So this equation will becomes in standard quadratic form. So now we make the factors of this equation, so that here we need any two numbers whose product is minus 42 and whose sum is plus 1. So that these two numbers are 7 times of n and minus 6 times of n, plus 7n minus 6n minus 42 equals to 0, because when we multiply 7 times of 6 you get minus 6, you get minus 42, and when we add 7 minus 6 then we get plus 1. So that here now we take common n from the first two factors and you get n plus 7, and we take common minus 6 on these two factors and you get n plus 7, and this whole equation equals to 0. And now we take common n plus 7 on these two equations and you get n minus 6 equals to 0. So that here we have two cases. Our first case is we put n plus 7 equals to 0, and the second case is we put n minus 6 equals to 0. And now in the next step, you easily get the value of n equals to minus 7, and in this case you get the value of n equals to 6. And now our next claim is to find the values of m, so that we put both of these values in equation number 3. Put in equation number 3, and our equation number 3 is written as m equals to minus 1 minus n. And when you put the values of both values of n in this equation, then you get m equals to minus 1 minus, when we put this value here then you get minus 7, and similarly in this case we have m equals to minus 1 minus 6. So that we simplify this equation and you get m equals to minus 1 plus 7, and we have minus 1 plus 7 becomes 6. So this is the value of m when our n equals to minus 7. So this is the value of m according to the value of this n. And similarly when we simplify this case, so here you have m equals to minus 1 minus 6 and it is equals to minus 7. So this is the value of m corresponding to the value of n equals to 6. So that in this question we have uh, two roots of the given equation, and these are, the first root is mn, so our m is 6 and n is minus 7, and in this case we have m comma n equals to, so the value of m is minus 7 and the value of n is 6. So these are the two roots of the given equation, and this is the final answer. And thank you so much for watching this video. Please subscribe to my channel for more exciting videos.